So I know if you want to talk through the horsetail today, which I think is so cool. I want to make space for that. So I think from my end, updates in the flower project has been just three things. Firstly, I did a podcast interview last week. So when that goes live, I'll share it. But it was really cool being able to say, I think the floral compost activator is the most exciting thing to happen in the world of composting. Like it's so cool. And then second up, and this dovetails with your work, I think. I did a winter greens workshop at the local marae here in Tuakau last week. And so I made a simple bone broth soup and added in seasonal vegetables from the garden, but a lot of them were edible weeds. And I think you've got a real affinity with the medicinal properties of what's growing in the wild that want to dig into that a little bit if there's time. And then finally, Monday this week, I made tree paste for my peach trees and I was stirring it and I just thought, I'm going to chuck in some QR compost activated because I've got jars everywhere. That why wouldn't we add as much goodness as possible to the trunk of our fruit trees? So, and apart from that, I'm still in the world of harakeke compost and weaving, and I've got an assignment due this weekend, and my body of work for the rest of the year, like the project brief due today. So I'm giving that all the time it deserves. So that's it from me. Handing over to you. How are things going for you with May Bruce's work and biodynamics and where your directions are at the moment?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just really trying to zero in on growing the six main plants. And so finding or sourcing those. So stinging nettle is almost ready to harvest here, which is really great. So that'll be happening in the next little bit. I have so much still harvested from last year, but it's so different when it's fresh. So Tuesday is a flower day. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do my first like floral compost activator if I wanted to. I don't have really compost going here beyond just plant like a big thing of plant rot, I guess. I don't even have grass clippings because my mom kind of has somebody who comes and does that, and she doesn't have a lot of grass here anyway because it's so wooded. I got a huge pile of wood chips delivered for free, which is great. So I'm moving ferns. Today's a leaf day. And so I'm moving all ferns to try to create the beds where we're going to be growing the six main plants. And then I put out a notice in the Muskoka Bulletin for horsetail, just asking if anybody has any and if anybody can find any of the Equisetum arvense, not the masquerading, the marsh horsetail, because we have marsh horsetail that grows everywhere, and a lot of my friends have marsh horsetail, but it's the one with the toxic alkaloids and not the one we want. So the hunt, Muskoka is actually a really large area, and so it encompasses so many different towns and communities. And so there's 65,000 people that are in this Facebook group. And I've had so many people respond. And so then it was interesting. So I wrote that horsetail piece and it's doing well on Substack. And then I had posted in the Muskoka Bulletin, and there was like a couple people that were like, oh, I hate it. It's so invasive. And once it starts growing, you can't get rid of it. Never plant this in your garden. So I was like, thank you so much. Like, I do know that it does spread by rhizomes, and that once it's established, it's quite difficult to get it to move. But here's the reasons why I think there's so much value to that. If you're interested in reading this, here's the project that I'm involved with, the Flower Project. And then people all started to pile on, and then people started to post their photos of I just forged this in the wilderness, and they had like big, big, beautiful drying bunch of fronds. So it's definitely, I've had two people say that they have some that I could go and get, but both are at least 45 minutes, if not further away. So I find that interesting because it seems like in Huntsville proper, where I am, it's just too populated or whatever it is, that it's been culled already, or it's just not growing natively here. So we'll see. So next week I'm on an adventure to try and go to some of these places. I've asked for photos, both to make sure that it actually is the right one, because I don't want to drive all that way and then still have it be marsh horsetail. So we'll see. But yeah, I think, and then there was another friend who's been really battling deep illness like cancer. And he said, thank you so much for writing about it, that he's ordered some of the tea online, like locally where you can buy it. And he thinks it's really going to help him. So there's been really interesting feedback from the horsetail piece, which is great. Feels like that's what we're all about. So
Brilliant. Yeah. I wonder, with your pile of mulch, would you treat that with the floral compost activator, even though it's not compost as such?
I have another older kind of pile that my mom's been throwing just leaf mold, like old leaves and stuff. So I think what's better, because I want to use that as a topping. So I've ordered raised beds, these galvanized metal steel raised beds. So it's better actually to use that, I think, as a mulch for the top. And then also because I'm transplanting all of these ferns to this new back area, and I want to use it so that I can really support those. So I think I would use the floral compost activator for this pile of leaves and see, but it's just a pile of leaves. It's not in anything. Like, I guess I could throw tarp over it to see if that would speed it up. That might be something.
Yeah.
Is that the right thing to do? I don't have it's not in it's not in a contained space yet. So
yeah, I like keeping my leaf mold in the weed bags so that they're all enclosed and they don't blow away and they hold the moisture. But throwing a tarp over would do the same thing. But
I think
yeah,
so.
the reason I said about treating the mulch is the compost project that we're doing here at the Marae in Tuakau. I'm trying as much as possible to align with Maori wisdom, and within the sort of Maori perspective of organics, here we call it huapara kore, that one of the principles is whakapapa, that you know exactly where everything comes from that comes onto your property. So kind of like traceability. And talking that through with my contact here at the Marae, she was talking about how back in the old days when neighboring tribes would bring plant material and plant it, it was almost like bringing a new person into the community, that there would be a ceremony to adopt this plant, to welcome it in and to integrate it with what's already there. And for their composting, we're bringing in a whole pile of mulch, and I wanted to know exactly where it was from. But even though we've kind of gone through that energetic, welcome, be part of this project, it still feels like the floral compost activator treating the mulch kind of elevates it energetically in some way, some mysterious way. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it. I guess my concern, is that it would break down really fast. But I guess that doesn't really matter.
That's mulch. It's not.
Yeah. They're wood chips. They're wood chips.
Yeah, so. The wood chips. I wonder what fungi you'll see this year.
I know. I thought that too.
Yeah. Cool. Um, so what else? You're still drinking your tea?
Yeah. So, doing my activator tea, and then also horsetail, and then also doing red raspberry leaf. I did, as I'm moving the ferns, there's a lot of raspberry cane that's just not supported and just wild and growing. So I've been harvesting a lot of that to use as teas, which has been lovely. Um, so that's drying right now. And then, um, yeah, like it's a lot of building right now. Like we're trying to build the fences, we're trying to build the beds. I'd love to do more of like a French intensive, where there's actually like really pretty rows. And it's time. I just need time. So
Do it again.
we'll get there. Yeah.
Cool. So we're coming up for the solstice, like midsummer, midwinter. I'm just very much in the sort of wintry, what nutrition is in the garden, even though lots is finished. But for you in midsummer, what's your focus? Are you able to?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, are you able to grow much, or have you arrived there sort of too late in the season to do much with the garden this year?
Yeah, it's mostly just very much just observation this year. So just looking and seeing what's already growing, and I think on Saturday my mom's going to get a couple plants of chamomile, so I'll have some of that to at least put somewhere. I don't have the beds ready, so I have to like do that work. And she has daisies that grow. She has lilies that grow, and then she has these very wild roses that, because it's so shaded, my mom has this idea that this dream of having roses that grow everywhere, but she doesn't have very much sun. So they're kind of like straggly and like, kind of like climbing, trying, looking for sun. And we only get a couple, but when they do bloom, then I'll collect some of those blooms for sure, for the floral compost, because that'll be beautiful. Yeah, so I mean, things are coming up, but right now it's really still, for us, not yet in 4B, in our zone where we are, 4B zone. The city is much further along, as I mentioned, like much, much further. They've had a really beautiful spring. And so, so much of the garden there is going like crazy. But I did transplant my valerian and my comfrey. So that is the comfrey suffered. The comfrey was like, ugh, and like very dramatic, very dramatic. So we'll see. It's like starting to like come back to life again, but it was very dramatic. The valerian was like, I love it here. This is no problem. And just like continues to be incredible. So
Fantastic. Ah, yay. And
so
what
I have
else?
the valerian. I have the stinging nettle already growing that I'm harvesting. One of the conversations that I had with one of my anthroposophical families here was asking, do they know of any oak trees? Because it's so deciduous here. And it's like maple and spruce and pine, predominantly. And so there is some birch. There is some, I'm forgetting what they're called. They're really pretty. Hemlock maybe. Anyway, but I'm on the lookout for my oak tree to see where it could be. Luckily, I did harvest quite a bit, so I have quite a bit of oak bark, but I keep drinking it. So I'm trying to just like hold off on drinking it all and start to use it.
Yeah. And so when local families ask you for, like, if they're wanting to make the compost activator tea, are you giving people your saved oak bark, or are you holding that close?
Well, nobody's asked me for it.
Okay.
Only my mother, and her I give it to. But overall, I think it's interesting that there's been a lot more response to the horsetail than there has been to the actual activator tea. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. And of the plants you listed, how's your yarrow?
I have some yarrow growing. It's still very little. It doesn't have any blossoms yet, but it is growing, and I'm completely out of yarrow because it was like one of my hardest ones. Remember, I ended up having to I had like one, and then I drank it. So I need to grow more, and it's on its way. It's coming. I have friends of mine, again, the same family it's a goat farm, like a very mini hobby farms. They have 2 goats, they have lots of chickens, and they've been doing biodynamics on their farm for quite a while. And so they have lots and lots of yarrow. So they were saying, like, you can come get yarrow anytime, which is great. And the chickens ate all of their valerian. So I said, I'll exchange. Because I guess they were really wanting that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So I don't have much else to share. I could make up a batch. I know you're pushed with time. Should I do that?
Yeah, I have 10 more minutes.
So just because I think there's a few new followers, yeah?
Yes, let's please.
So this is the process. I have run out of jars. I'm so frustrated.
Oh, gosh.
But I've got hundreds and hundreds of these keep cups. So I'm going to use one of these today. So turn off the dehumidifier. So we start off with a little dab of honey. And I like mixing the honey in separately at the beginning. Do you do this, Kate? Have you sort of found any idiosyncrasies of ways you like to do things that May didn't describe?
No, I'm always learning from you.
It's sort of, I don't know, it feels like creating the honey water is like a vessel for the flowers to just drop into. And it can take a little bit of stirring to get it all off the spoon. So the 6 biodynamic herbs, I mean, May wouldn't say they were biodynamic herbs. She would say, it wasn't Rudolf Steiner who gave the world nettle. So a pinch of nettle going in the cup. And then next up, I've got yarrow, a few blossoms, then valerian. This is the one that I'm holding closest. I had someone ask if I had any spare valerian, and I was like, nope. So yeah, and like chamomile I also struggle with, but you can get commercial chamomile tea that at a pinch that would probably do. Dandelion, and these, when I pick them, the flowers sort of cling together, that when I'm making a batch I like to just pull them apart. Then the oak bark.
You've gotten sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I love how prepared you are. You've gotten so streamlined in your preparations now.
Yeah, having them in little jars like this, because I'm out in the community teaching, it is just that little box has everything I need.
It's fabulous.
So there's now a PDF from the Biodynamic Association of New Zealand with this process drawn up as a workshop for ECE centres. So early childhood, kindergartens, and in 24 hours, that will be a sort of honey-coloured mixture and ready to use. But I'm going to add some more into this today. So this cup of flowers here, these are what are flowering in the garden at the moment, and what I took to the workshop last week. So that is rocket, and there's something I'm sure there are like medicinal, nutritional properties of rocket. Yeah.
Oh,
Such
yeah.
a strong herb that's going in. And nasturtium. Do you get these?
Oh, yes. I mean, those are big leaves that you have there, but that is glorious. That would be something that will come in July for us.
Okay.
They're still early for us here.
So they're quite popular for chefs here. And again, feels like a really good medicinal plant. And what else? At the workshop last week, I had someone tell me she was low in iron, and I just went around and picked some stuff, and this was one of them. I think it's called wood sorrel. It's like an oxalis.
Yes. Yeah, we love it.
And I didn't know why I was recommending it. There aren't any flowers yet, but it's high in vitamin C, and you need good vitamin C to absorb iron, right? You're more tuned in with the medicinal, nutritional stuff than me. So
yes, absolutely, you need vitamin C in order to be able to absorb iron. Yes.
So I'm just chucking that in, and then lamb's quarters. That's another one. And I don't think they flower. These are the little like seed pods, but the stage before they form seeds, that must be the flower. So popping that in.
Okay.
And then this is an edible weed here in New Zealand. We call it onion weed. It's got like a triangular spine.
Cool.
And when people cut their lawns and this is growing, you can just smell onion. So yummy. And then the final one here is chickweed, and this is for Michael in Scotland. He's got loads and loads of chickweed, and he's saying, is there a way to turn chickweed into a superfood? I reckon there could be. There's a little flower on one part of it, but I'm just going to pop a whole chunk of chickweed in there as well. So that is today's blend that I'll use in the garden here and then take to the next Winter Greens workshop next week.
Beautiful.
So it's like 2 minutes to mix up, eh?
Yeah.
So simple.
So simple and so efficient, because you're feeding from your ecosystem, you're feeding nutrients back into the compost that you're going to continue to feed the ecosystem. So it just is such a beautiful closed loop.
Yeah, I've been tipping a bunch of the liquid into the bathtub that I use to gather water to feed the plants. So I'm actually watering the garden with it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So the other thing I've been adding, so right now I have a compost tea going for my new beds as I start to do it, because I have our own BD 500 that I made, but then I'm just thinking, okay, so I've been using this steeped, anything that from the activator tea, I keep the bag like after I've drank it, which means it is diluted. Like the bloom, the original bloom of nutrients is going to be less because I've drank it. But I only steeped it once for 10 minutes, so I still think there's more to it than that. So I've just been saving them all, and then I've put that into a big 5-liter bucket with rainwater. And I also added Bladderwrack. Do you know Bladderwrack at all? Have you ever used Bladderwrack? Okay, so it's a brown algae that actually grows on the it might be my next Substack. It grows on the on the Irish coast or the Atlantic coast, and it's incredibly high in nutrients and very, very high in iodine. So it's similar to a kelp. So often that, that gets suggested that you would add kelp. So I'm doing Bladderwrack with my tea leftovers, my activator tea, and I'm putting that all in together. And then I've just been letting it sit there. It's been there for 3 days, and I have big 5-liter buckets. So we'll see. I'm wondering, I might strain and then dynamize it or vortex it.
Yeah.
Dynamize. That's right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then apply, because I think that the Bladderwrack is so potent as an iodine and vitamin and minerals. It's really, really amazing. It's similar in profile quite a bit to horsetail, so it has very high silica. So it'd be interesting to see, because I don't have the horsetail yet. So this is my experiment. Experiment for yourselves. This is my experiment, since I'm still trying to gather my horsetail. I have so much Bladderwrack. And I drink it as a tea as well. And it's delicious as a tea. It's a bit fishy. My mom is like, ugh, but it's really good for thyroid, and it's excellent for eye health. So if you're suffering from cataracts, or if you're suffering from anything that has to do with weak eyes, then it really helps. So I don't know. I wonder if it grows in New Zealand. Maybe the waters are too warm.
I'm going to go have a look.
Okay,
I'll see.
go find out.
Yeah, it's my homework.
I'll write it here, Bladderwrack. And I have the I have the Latin name that I can, it's like Fucus.
Yeah, and it's also in your post on horsetail.
I do mention it in that. Yeah, I do mention it.
The spelling is there if anyone wants to go see. Yeah, that's my task for the week. And you only had half an hour, and we're at half an hour, so I think let's go. Stay in touch, and the next call, I think if you're available, let's do something around the solstice as a midwinter, midsummer. Maybe look at the calendar of the soul or something from Steiner, or I don't know.
I would love that.
Let's think.
Yeah, I would love that. A lift. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Go well.
Thank you so much, Katrina. You brighten my day always.
Awesome. Likewise, goes both ways. Bye.
Have a lovely day.